Hello, everybody. I remembered to unmute my microphone this time. And let's see if we can quiet down the music a little bit. Don't know how the level is for you, but it is slightly too loud on my end. And I'm not getting context menu. Come on. Seems my system is struggling with the upload. Oh, there's an update. I don't want that. Alright, now. As you can see, I just uploaded the... Alright. This is on the wrong icon. Probably the update check. Tick the music down one step. Yeah, that works. Okay, so as you can see, I'm uploading the coffins, which I said I was going to do between streams, but I haven't been busy, and there are a number of things that I have not had time to do. But as you can probably tell, if you were here last week, is that I'm much better lit now. Because my lights arrived and I've put them up. And as I described at the end of the last stream, I now have two lights pointing at me. And then I have another two lights on the same stands, but they are pointed behind me onto the green screen, which is right here, which you cannot see because it's green and a screen. But I can quickly turn those lights off, and you can see the contrast if I can reach the. This is kind of what it looked like before with the lights off. And you can now see the screen kind of here. You can see where the camera view ends because now it can't key out the background properly. But if I turn the lights back on, the screen is gone because now it's properly lit, more or less. There might be some shadows occasionally across it. I'll have to refine that as we go on because this is the first time I'm using this stuff. And you can no longer see where the camera view ends unless I do this. I am very pale though. I might need to... I can adjust the warmness of the lights. The ones pointing at me, the right one is a little warm. The other ones are pretty much white, which might not be ideal. So I'll have to, but I can't do that from here. I would have to get up and go to behind the lights and adjust the knobs on the backs. I don't have remotes for these. So I will fiddle with that when I have, after the stream ends. I'll turn up the warmness of them, and we'll see how that works next time. Now it looks like the coffins have uploaded. They have all appeared, and it stopped struggling. So now we can, and we have them in a nice little collection that says coffins. So now we can go back into the Proudcrest Monastery map, and we can get rid of the temporary coffins we put in during the last stream, and the one before that, I believe, put some in then. And we can put in these little nicer ones that aren't all slightly open with a body sticking out of it. Ah, right. This part of the map is black. I was sitting here waiting for it to load something, but I forgot that the corner where the viewport starts is blank. I believe the last thing we did was place this fountain in this little alcove. Fountain with a statue on top. The coffins are down here. So we are just going to get rid of these. Delete. Delete. Probably do this quicker from the layer green. Select coffin from here. Oh, I think I just might have deleted the entire room. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't know what it's doing right now. I think it's deleting the room. But I'm not sure because it's stuck. Well, that's unfortunate. I can just undo it as soon as it catches up. There wasn't that much stuff in this room. Huh. I'm not sure what it's doing. I'm just going to reload the page. Or reload the editor. If we're lucky, it'll also undo that change that I didn't mean to make. I guess I do look grayscale, but that's just because I am not a colorful person, but this is an orange fly swatter. Pretty old. I might have the lights turned up too much. They might be a little intense. I can't really look at them, which might be an indication of that as well. Okay. It hasn't deleted the room. Or didn't have time. So let's continue deleting coffins. I might need to adjust the brightness as well of the lights. But I just got these set up just before the stream. Very, very much last minute. So it's also very hard to adjust these kind of things when you don't have help. Because I can't sit here and adjust the lights at the same time, which is a significant disadvantage, because I have to get up, adjust the lights, and then I would have to check the how it looks at OBS, and then go back up and check and adjust the lights further, and keep repeating that until I have something that looks good. But I need to take some time to do that now that the lights are operational. It's been quite an ordeal. I also have a new chair that is sitting right next to me there, which I got the other day, and that's been an ordeal as well, because I first got a used chair that had been a display piece for a reduced price, and I picked it up pre-assembled because it had been on display, so it was assembled and it didn't have any packaging. And I brought it home with a friend's help, and then it was sitting in my living room for a couple of days. And then I actually got to look at it during the weekend, and I discovered, or I noticed, that it was missing some pieces. Namely the lower back pillow, which was supposed to have, and the handle on one of the levers were gone. It was supposed to have a plastic cover on it, but it was just bare metal. So I had to bring it back to the store where I got it, and I told them that it was missing pieces, and the even though it was used, it said it was in as new, and the description didn't mention any missing bits. And they said they could order the missing parts, but it would take somewhere between 2 days and a week. 2 to 7 days or something like that. And so that meant I would have to leave the chair there, and then I would have to come back a week later and get it. And I did not want to do that, so I said I would buy a new chair, and I would pay the difference from what I had already paid, and I got a 10% discount on the new chair for the trouble, which is nice. Hello, Andrew. So now I have a brand new chair for slightly below the full price, which is nice. It does not have any missing pieces, and I've just assembled it today as well. And I ordered a bunch of attachments, because I have a special setup which you can't really see, but it's a bit unusual. I don't have a desk. I have 3 monitors on stands in an arc in front of me, which are sitting on a wheeled thing. And then I have my keyboard attached to my chair. Andrew, you cannot select multiple objects at once, unfortunately. You can, however, go into the layers panel. And if you go into the room contents, I'm just going to select this room because it's a little faster. Then I go into the contents. You have a little button up here to create groups. And groups basically work like folders. And then you can put props and brushes and any other thing that a room can contain into the group. And when you select the group and move it, it will move everything it contains as if it was one object. You can also, as of a few updates ago, you can create a prop group, and then you can create a prop template out of it, which, as you can see here, is you can also create room templates, and a prop template similar to room templates just become available for all maps, and you could just insert that group, which you couldn't do previously, which is handy. I believe I have a single prop template currently, which is a brazier with a blue flame in it, a brazier even. I shouldn't have clicked out of the prop selector. Where do the prop templates appear again? They might... I don't actually remember where they show up. They should be in the props menu. Are they at the bottom? Oh wait. No, you have to... Yeah. You bring up the drop down and select templates. I don't remember this. Lamp? Why do I have a lamp template with 2 lamps in it? I must have created this accidentally while testing stuff. But as you can see, I have a template group here. And then I have a prop template with a blue fire brazier in it. And if I place that into this map and select it, you can see that it created a group. It becomes a group again, and then the group contains two separate props, the brazier itself and the blue flame on top of it, which is also a light source. So now I have this brazier in here, which I don't really want, so I'm going to delete that again. And then I'm going to find the coffins again and get back to what we were doing. Collections, coffins. So these are all from Forgotten Adventures, just so you know. I did not make these. They are from the Spooktober Pack Part 1, in case you were wondering or want to find them yourself. I don't know if they are in the store, in the assets store yet, but if they are not, they might be eventually when Forgotten Adventures decide to add them. But I have them because I am a patron of them, which unfortunately there's no integration yet, so I had to import them myself. But we should be able to use these lids. I don't need we have the open coffin, which is just the box. And then we have the lids for the box, which fits on top of it to close it off. But I think I don't really need the box. I think I can just get away with using the lids. I'm going to scale these down a bit because I want to fit 2 of each on, or 2 on each shelf, I should say. I'm going to just put them on like this. And I'm just going to rotate each slightly just to create some variation. Fully. Let's zoom in a bit so I can see better how I'm placing them. Yeah, it doesn't have the handles, but unless someone is looking at these very closely and recognize them, they aren't going to notice that. And even if they do, it's not a big deal. So I'm not too worried about the handles. And you are right that it saves a little bit on performance because there are fewer props that the editor has to redraw that aren't even visible when it has to re-render the room. Now I put a skeleton on the floor here last time, so we can actually, to continue on that, we can actually take this open coffin and we'll put it closer to the edge as if someone had pulled it. And then we have a bunch of broken lids. So we can, instead of actually scaling them each time, what I should be doing is, okay, just type in 70% so they all get the same scale. We can close the layer panel so we have a little more room. Type 70. And then we can put the piece of the lid piece here. And then we can get the top cracked lid. And we can put that over here. And then we're going to open up the layer panel again, which I just closed. And I need to go through and name these rooms eventually because this is terrible. But I'm not going to do that now. And then we're going to take these lids and actually, well, no. I could create a prop group and do stuff with that, but I'm just going to take the lids and pull them down to where the skeleton is at the bottom of the order so that they appear correctly beneath the shelves. Now, do I want probably want the skeleton to be on top of them, because you would have had to, the order would be lid first, then the body or skeleton, and then potentially the box. So the lid would not be on top of the skeleton. whichever way you look at it. So we'll leave it like that. I think that looks pretty good. No idea how the skeleton got out of the its resting place, but perhaps someone's been here looking for things to plunder. Or maybe it got out on its own. Who knows? We'll do it like that. Now, it could do some... Well, actually, no. I could have some stick out from underneath the shelf. Could we fit 2 on each? They could stick out a little. If I undo that last one... They could be placed like this. Kind of interlocking. Which would use less space. But if the top ones are like that, you wouldn't really see the bottom ones sticking out anyway. And it does make it look a bit more cluttered. I was about to say clustered, but that doesn't make sense. So I think we'll stick with this because it makes it look better, I think. And I believe that's all we need to do with this room. Could also put some pots in here or something just to make it a little more interesting. Give the player something to search. Other than in case they don't want to search the coffins. They might not be the grave robbing types. So we're going to go back to our regular props and we're going to search for pot. We have some pots in the Sina Una pack. We have some potatoes, whatever those are. And we have some cooking pots. These kind of fit color-wise because they're already kind of blue, which is nice. So let's put some of them here. Didn't look at what the scale was. 40%? Yeah, 40%. Now I'm just going to place a bunch of closed ones. Potentially be searched. Give the player something to poke at if they feel the need to do so. Get another open one. Potted plant in this sci-fi category. That's not really what we're looking for. Oh yeah, we also made this. I completely forgot about the pile of bones. Turned out pretty nicely though. Okay, let's Get some space back, close the layer panel. I think that room is done. Let's save that to the server. Eventually. There we go. Okay. So, what do we do next? So, when you come down, you have the servant portion and the bone pit. This might have been more for not the lowest rungs of the ladder, but the slightly higher, like valued handmaiden or something like that. And this is just for the serfs, like the workforce for these families. These might not be named or anything, but they got a little fancier burial, perhaps. And this is the first room that leads into the actual familial tombs. The question is, what would be in there? We have this is the forum into the ritual room. So we'll have some cleaning stuff in there. But this is the first room before you enter into the actual... Does this need to be a room? This could just be a corridor. Which just connects these other parts together. Then we could move the storage room in a bit so we don't have an unnecessarily long corridor leading to it. Could make it bigger as well, I suppose. Although I'm not sure we need that. So we're just going to move some points around, and then we're going to delete some wall points. Namely these two. Otherwise, this would be a very strangely shaped room. By most measures. Okay. Now, what would be in here? Spare coffins, maybe? Could be... We might need a prep room for the... lower rungs. Could put that here. Could have a bunch of standing wooden coffins. Because we have that in the Forgotten Adventures set. I have an open coffin leaning against the wall. Leaning lids as well. That might be nice. We could also put that over here. But that makes it a very long way around. I guess it would be here. Such a room. Something like that. I have to say, I do kind of like having the door in the middle of a tile like that. Kind of interesting. I'm not sure why. But I do like it. Let's continue that style. There we go. And then we would probably have a door in this door here rather than an opening. Let's put in an arc like we have done in other places, implying the presence of a door. More or less. Actually, did I put in... Yeah, I also used those. Where there are actual doors. The dungeon door. So like that. I guess there would also be one here. So let's make that a dungeon door as well. It's already facing the right way, which is nice. Then we are going to get some... props. Might also need a table. Or some kind of slab where the bodies are prepared. probably would not be made out of wood. So let's get a leaning open coffin. Scale them down to 70 to keep the same scale. And then we'll go -90. Put them here. We'll make them above walls. We can have them sticking out a little bit. So you can tall. Height. I'll just be identical like that. And then we could have a bunch of leaning lids. The rotation 180 on that. Leaning here. And these I'll just, because they are flat, I will just one of those ended up outside of the room, which was not intentional. I also want these to be above walls. Checking. We'll stack a bunch of these. Is that 4? No, that's just 3. Take the other one and the last one and slant it a little bit. Place it like that. That looks a little disordered. Perfect. Is perfect. And then we need some kind of stone slab or stone table. I mean, I guess it could be wood. If the coffins are made out of wood and they are still here, wooden table would be as well. What comes up if I search for slab? Okay, stone slab. That looks too rough. Floor slabs is not whatever either. So let's search for stone instead. Gravestone, no. Stone coffin, tombstone, chest, lying stone. Building parts. It's not what I need. Far east stone stairs is also not what I. Stone coffin could work as a table, I suppose, but then are these the ones I've used up here? Not really. Did I miss these when I was looking for coffins? Because I don't remember these. Kind of like them more than these decorated ones. But we'll come back to that later. Let's search for table instead and see what we've got. Polished table could work. Maybe I'll just use a wooden table instead. Orchard table. No, that's not what I want. Oh, there's a stone table in the Riverlands pack or category. It looks very similar to the coffins, but I'll take it. I'm just going to make it a little more slightly bluish. It's made from a same stone. That'll do. And then we might want some dried blood. Potentially, if bodies have been prepared for burial here, it might not have been completely the cleanest type of work. I do happen to know that there are blood splatter props in here. That's not difficult to find. Put one. That. Put some blood on there. But I'm going to take this one specifically and bring it down below the wait. Where's the table? What is that called? Coffin lean lid. It's not a coffin lid. Why did it name like that? That's strange. Anyway, let's put that beneath the stone table, and then we're going to darken the blood a lot. Brightness down by 50%. Exact same thing with this one. Make it look old. Kind of looks like here. That's not what I wanted to move. Okay. Let's get a few jars in here because why not? That looks like a preparation room to me. Don't think we need much more than that. So let's get back to up here. What would be in this room? Do we need a room there? Could potentially just remove it entirely. We'll leave it for now. I just won't put anything in there. Let's get back to this pre-ritual room. I put a passage here, but I might want an actual door here. Let's put an actual door there. Facing the right way, which is nice. What else would be in here? Cleaning stuff. We have the fountain, which would be used for cleansing yourself before entering the ritual area. Would you need anything else? Could be some more statues in there. We do have some more statues we could probably search for statue. Whole bunch of them. It's good. What is that? It's a statue of someone kneeling against a tombstone, I think. That's not what I want for this. We have this one, which we have seen before. Did we use that down here? No, it was that one. Up with. Then we had one here, which was the Reaper one. So we could potentially use. We could have one of these standing around the door. Something like that. Although I would recolor these so that they look blue. green. The green doesn't really fit. So 230, 16. Sure. There we go. The bottom one looks kind of weird. Looks like it's hanging from the ceiling because of the perspective of the drawing. Hello, Peter. It kind of works. It kind of look a little strange if you're looking at it a certain way, but it also gets the point across that these two statues are flanking the door. I don't know if I want anything else to be. Probably don't want any crates or pots in here. I want this room to be clean and empty. That might work best to enter into a clinically empty, clean room, fountain in it. Cleanse yourself before entering. Monastery, catacombs. We'll put a bunch of crates and barrels in here. This will be one of the storage rooms. Let's search for crate. Long crate. Works pretty well. Put a few of these. Stacked. I always like stacked crates. Fun. That looks a little bit messy. So I'm going to darken the bottom ones a little bit. Give some depth. What do you mean by architectural doors? Do you mean like the quarter circle line type of door you would see on an architectural blueprint? Because if so, you are correct. Have that type. We have these white rectangles. Very simple type of door. Just looks like this. And then you have an open variant of that. But that's it. Double door variant with one of the doors open and both closed. That's probably the closest thing to a blueprint version that is available currently. I also need to get this middle bottom crate down here. I think that's that one. There we go. I think that looks a lot better with the tell them apart a little more easily than when they were all the same shade. Probably also want some barrels. Once the doors and window tool rework comes around, you will be able to upload custom door and window sprites, just like you can with props or similar. At some point in the future, then you could upload blueprint style doors and windows if you want to, or request it as an asset pack, perhaps. Blueprint style pack. I was looking for barrels. Barrel. Barrels. Pirate barrels. These are interesting. Huh. Octagonal barrels. I don't know if I've seen that before. Then we have the default fantasy barrels. Dark Lord barrels, which are also kind of octagonal. Modern barrels, which is not useful currently. Loading barrel. Ah. I don't like the pirate barrels, although the wood style doesn't match. But we can probably fix that. Let's scale these down a little bit. We're going to place one right next to the crate pile. And then we're going to select it, and we'll see if we can desaturate it so that it looks more like the crates. I don't want to desaturate it too much because I don't want it to look completely gray. And that's pretty close. Close enough for when they are not next to each other. That's for sure. So let's place a few of these here. Rotate them a little bit. I can just stack them. No. Well, it'd probably be wine barrels, really old wine, used for rituals and such, perhaps. Or it could just be water for the cleaning Although if there is a... Well, I guess it doesn't... The fountain doesn't necessarily mean pool. It might not be a fountain at all. It might just be a pool that they empty and refill water barrels. Now we have a bit of a storage room. We have the ritual room. We have another storage room down here, which is behind, after the ritual room. There might be some more valuable things in here stored, but I'm not sure how to show that. We're going to put a door here though, because I'm out. It's facing the wrong way. Yeah, I want it to face out. Horizontal. Placing it. Now, what to put in here? I don't want to put actual treasure. I want to save that for the vault. But I want to put something in here that makes it seem like slightly more valuable than a pile of boxes and barrels. Something used in rituals. But what would that be? That wouldn't be in a crate. Nothing really. I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I could just describe the room as containing more valuable things, but it feels like a cop-out. If possible, I want to show on the map that it's slightly fancier things. But obviously the problem is I don't have any idea of how to do that in a good way. Is a problem. Put in some shelves, perhaps? Because rather than having things that you have fewer of, wouldn't have in boxes, you would have them on shelves. Because then we can imply that the room is a little more organized than and less generic than a storage room, without actually showing too many things. We can put some stuff on the top shelves, like some scrolls, perhaps, a couple books, and then leave to the description what is on the other, like further down the shelves, so that the DM can make up their own stuff if they want to, or write some stuff into the description later. Yeah, I think that would work. We have an empty shelf right here. So let's grab this, and we need to scale this down a bunch. 40%. Oh, that was maybe a little too much. Percent. Now we're getting somewhere. So put shelves like that, and then have mirrored set on the opposite wall. Then maybe pull in the middle, or just one, perhaps. One shelf in the middle. I don't want it to be too crowded. And now we basically need some clutter. Now the tagging system would have been quite useful, but we'll just have to look stuff up individually. Search for scroll first. We get a rolled up scroll here. Let's scale that to 60%. Probably go 40% on that, maybe. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Put 2 up there. Could be spell scrolls, could be random common text scrolls. Yeah, I don't want to lead or force the GM to have to describe certain things. Like if I just put a table in the room and put a bunch of stuff on the table, that leaves very little room for or it makes it more difficult for it causes the problem where you have certain stuff visible in the room, and the players will undoubtedly lock onto that. And if you describe something else being there that clearly isn't on the actual map and there's no room for it to be there, that creates kind of a dissonance between what the players can see and what you are describing. But shelves are nice because you can put some visually nice stuff on the top of them, but there could be more. There's the possibility that there are things you cannot see on the other shelves, which leaves the DM room to add additional stuff that they need to be in the room, or roll up some random stuff that is in the room that you can't necessarily see, but you can describe it as being there on the parts of the shelves you can't see. But like I said before, you can get the same effect with crates and barrels, because you can't see what's in these barrels or these crates. But having crates like you wouldn't put a bunch of scrolls in a crate unless you have a bunch of empty scrolls, perhaps. But if the scrolls are actually valuable, they would be kept. They are kept differently. You wouldn't keep them in crates. Crates would contain more generic supplies, like food, I guess, or nails for the coffins would be a thing I could imagine being in one of these crates. Could be a crate full of nails that they use to nail the coffins together or nail the lids onto them. Just useless generic supplies that you don't really pay much attention to. Although players can get creative sometimes with those kinds of things. But when you have shelves, you imply there's more less generic stuff and things that are used more regularly, perhaps, or with some frequency. It cleared my search query, then took me away from the search box before I got a chance to type in the other one. So let's look for some books as well, because scrolls go nicely with books. Could have a bunch of books in here. I do also have a bunch of clutter from Forgotten Adventures if we ever run out. Brown book. Brown book there. Black book. Also looks kind of brown to me. But that might just be me. Put it a little on top of the other book. Make it look like they are piled up there. And I think that's that. What more do we have in the clutter category? We should have a clutter collection in here somewhere, I believe. If my memory serves me correctly, which it doesn't always do. But we'll see whether I'm correct. Decoration, we have, so the books are in. It hasn't loaded all of the sprites in. We have a dino head, which is not something that I think I want. Well, I guess it could potentially be some kind of artifact. Could just put it in here because it's interesting. Could spark something. Or it could just be a generic skull of some monster that happens to be in here. That would be up to the DM to decide and describe. Probably put it on the shelf. Don't want it to be too big either. Oh God. Lot faster to type in the number when it's the editor is being like this. Turn it a little. Bit there. Giant organ, we don't want that. Dungeon, no. Furniture, door, no. Containers. Um, Lost civilizations. I don't think we have any ladder in here. Battlements, we definitely don't need them. Dark Lord pack or collection has some leather. We have some candles and some skulls, ink bottles. Some sacks. Sacks are nice. They could contain gems or flour. Or gold dust. Put some sacks up there. We have a teapot. Be a ritual teapot. Or a cursed artifact, or just a random teapot. Suit of armor. Could be a different version of the animated ones that are by the vault. Scale this down 60%, I think. Tub. It's a tub, all right. Here, don't need spoons or stakes. Paper. Have piece of paper. That with the scrolls, maybe. Well, they kind of do. Let me just take this piece of paper and put it below the scroll. There we go. If you look at the panel that shows when you have nothing selected, so just click the background, which is black. There is a switch here, the drop down called distance metric, and there's a toggle that says real world unit, and you can say 1 square equals X amount of one of these units. You don't have centimeters, unfortunately. The distance metric is for determining how distance across diagonals work. Or movement in general, depending on different systems. And the real world units is to decide or specify a scale. Otherwise, I think if you have real world units disabled, when you are in the campaign mode and you move a token, it will just display the distance in squares, in tiles. If you turn on a distance, or if you turn on real world units and you say that 1 square equals 5 feet, it will then show the distance moved in feet instead. Or if you say that 1 square is 1.5 meters, it will show the distance moved in meters, and so on. And it will multiply the amount of squares by this number and display that for the result. So that's turned off by default. And it's only useful if you use the campaign mode. It doesn't do anything when exporting the map. Although I do think they might include these numbers in the universal export, but I don't remember. Not. I think they are. There might be. I think I asked Andy to add that. I think he did, but I don't remember now. It was too long ago. But yeah. Anyway, back to the room, which is pretty cluttered now. A pretty good amount, I think. We still have an empty shelf here, which is fine. We don't need to put something on each shelf. This could just have other stuff further down and nothing on top. The teapot looks a little lonely, however. That might also be fine. Ooh, a fried egg. Don't want that. These candles, are these standing candles? I might want some. It's just a cluster of candles. I might have liked some laying candles. Just like candle supply. This candle lit? Yes, it is. I don't want that in there. I think that will do for this room. The teapot will have to be lonely. For now, at least. We'll might come back to this room again in the future. But I certainly think this will do for now. Let's get some screen space, the viewport space. And what's next? We have a room there, which is probably going to be expanded, which is going to be a tomb, and then we have a tomb here. Then we do have the 2 tombs up here. I don't know if I want to They look very plain. I have some more space up here. So I might want to, I'm thinking I expand these upwards and then space the sarcophagi out more. Put some pillars between them. And we might also have some wall sconces with magical lights in them to light this area up a bit. These have huge footprints for some reason. Okay, so let's just expand the room first. Cool. Something like that. Said something like that. Come on, there we go. And we want to change the rounded corners. Asymmetrical rounded corners look nice. Like that, obviously. Well, I don't like that. That's too sharp an angle. I might get a better result if I use the curved mode. Handle there. That's more what I'm looking for. Pretty nice. It's a slightly more interesting curve than this. I'm going to do the same thing here. Damn it. Sarcophagi in there trying to print. Let's set this to curved as well. Kind of wish you could make these handles snap to the grid. That would have been nice. I kind of just wanted them to snap. One to this corner and one to this corner. Now that's not the shape I wanted at all. Happened there. Oh, it didn't. Yeah, I like that. It feels kind of softer than the 90-degree turn somehow. Difficult to explain. But there we have it. So now the question is how to arrange the tombs or the sarcophagi. These props are just called tombs. Oh, we were going to switch to the other ones. I might do that for one of these, though, rather than so they look different. Because I'm thinking the families might have their own sculptors do their tombs, their family's sarcophagi. So they might have different styles as a result of that. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. Move this point, sitting here waiting for it to update. Not going to when you don't actually move it. I had these corners be sharp 90-degree turns, 90-degree corners. When the sarcophagi was right up against them. But I'm thinking I want to rotate the sarcophagi 90 degrees and put them along these walls, and then have queen in the middle. But then it might make sense to have the opposite curve on this far wall. I am also going to set these to move this point over here, maybe. Come on. Here we go. Curve handle over here. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you, handle. There we go. And then same deal for this. Hopefully we'll actually move it this time. Maybe not. No, there we go. All right. Moving this wall point as well. Accidentally selecting one of the sarcophagi. Check. This too curved. Curve it over here. Go. This super straight, but it'll do. And we have that nice curve there as well. Um, I kind of want to swap these. Well, I guess I only need to move this way. This one is first, and it's before the ritual, the cleansing room. So it might be less important. Not as influential family, or perhaps one that is not part of the order that is holding the rituals past this point. So they might have planar sarcophagi. So we'll just move the void over here for now. Position. Just going to delete all of these. And we're going to put in the slightly fancier sarcophagi that I found in the library. Just because I like them better. Complete prop favoritism, but that's how it is. This prop panel opens up again. We can go back to the top and we can search for Sarko. Bring up the doesn't what were they called? Coffin? Yeah. Yeah. Stone coffin. Decorated stone coffin from the cathedral. Pack. This one I saw. So 3 fits like that. Then 3 on the other side. Do I want to put them closer together? Maybe. Maybe have a small pillar in between each and put them closer like that. Just the width of the pillar. That. And then suddenly we can fit in another one. 4 on each side. That seems like a pretty reasonable number. 8 sarcophagi. That's quite a few generations. So let's look at some pillars now. Oh. Yeah, column gets us some more matches. Kind of like this one. A bit big, obviously. Let's scale that down. 40%. So I could do something like that. They don't quite look like they align properly, which is... Can't snap them to the grid because that puts them... Kinda wish I could just duplicate a prop in place. Then just shift it upwards. But unfortunately, the only way to duplicate a prop is to press Control D and cursor. Place it. But I want it in the exact same spot. And then just shift it upwards so that they are all aligned. Because I can tell that they are not all perfectly aligned. And it bugs me. I don't like it. Or maybe it just looks wrong to me. Let's get a... and we're going to shove that up against this. And yeah, I can definitely tell that the pillars aren't aligned at all. But now we can fix that by pinning the notepad window so it remains on top when I have when I'm focused on the editor. And then we can just shift these into place so that the window touches the inner line on each. Now they are all aligned. Something looks off. I think it might be that there's a sarcophagi, then a pillar, sarcophagi, pillar, sarcophagi, pillar, sarcophagi, pillar, and then no sarcophagi. I think I want the sequence to start and end with a sarcophagi. So if I extend the room another tile, how much closer does that get me to an equilibrium? Because I prefer to have the curve, and we want a sarcophagi at the end, but we don't want. We would want it to be the same distance from the wall as down by the entrance, which has an entire tile to itself. But then again, maybe in the back they weren't too concerned about leaving that much space. How does that curve look? let's create it on one side, the side that we have set up correctly. Let's put a wall point here. This one down. Create our corner. This curved. Come on. Drop down me. There we go. Curved. It's so slow. Again, that's not straight at all. Let down a little further. That's pretty good. Deselect the room. Yeah, that doesn't cut into the sarcophagi, which is great. It leaves very little space, but it is in the back, so probably wouldn't have cared a lot about that. Yeah, I think I actually like this. Might also need to align the sarcophagi. Yeah. They were not very aligned either, which honestly doesn't surprise me. Okay, so now they are all in a better position. Should be aligned, still doesn't really cut into the wall. We need to make the other side look the same. But I think I'm done streaming for tonight because I'm getting tired. So I'm going to end the stream a little earlier than I have previously. But I will have to, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here yawning the entire time. I've been, I know, doing that. But I would say this is going well. I have some things to do before the next stream. I will not be able to stream next week because I'm going on a business trip, so I'll be away from home the entire week, but someone else might stream in my stead. Till is still coming back next month, is when he intends to start streaming again. And I plan to continue doing this the month out when I'm able, which does not include next week, like I said. But perhaps someone else will stream in my stead, substitute for Till, instead of me. But we'll have to wait and see. So until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you then.